Welcome to Cooking with the Wooden Spoon. Today we are making prosciutto green beans. You can use prosciutto, you can use bacon, you can use ham, whatever you have. Any of those meats will taste delicious with these green beans. So if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I love to cook. I do cook all day long. It makes me so happy. However, you knew there was a but coming. But I really struggle with side dishes. I'm very committed and have been for my kids' entire lives, committed to making home cooked meals almost every single day and almost every single meal. But man, there are just so few side dishes that I feel like I have um, in my repertoire. Or I can also say there are so few side dishes that Matt will like. And he does tolerate green beans. I say tolerate. He doesn't like say, yay, we're having green beans for dinner. I do, but he doesn't. So I feel like this recipe is a win because Matt actually, I'd say the upper end of tolerate, maybe leaning toward like, we'll ask him later, but these green beans are quick. They come together pretty quickly, and I think they're tasty. They have a good like, I don't know, salt balance. I'm not somebody who likes to salt their food. I typically don't add a lot of salt to things, but this is a dish that is just a little bit of salt to balance a non-salty other dish. So it goes well with beef, it goes well with chicken and pork. It's one of our go-to sides. So I think you're going to like it. For this recipe, I'm using my garden fresh green beans. Most of the year I don't have my garden fresh green beans. I This year I don't have enough green beans to freeze, and that's okay. So I usually use frozen green beans. I will take 2 packages of green beans and put those in this recipe. I typically use my own homemade chicken broth or stock, but I don't have that today. So this is just store-bought chicken stock. And then we need 1 tablespoon of butter, a little drizzle of olive oil, a half of a cup of chopped onions. Typically, I use white onion, but I had a purple onion that I wanted to use, so we're doing that. And Walker's not the biggest fan of purple onions, but he likes the other onions, so I figured while Walker's not here, I will use up my purple onions. And then I just have really inexpensive prosciutto from Aldi. I have used the really awesome and expensive prosciutto, and that tastes amazing too, but really just the cheap stuff from Aldi works just fine. If you have fresh bacon from a local butcher, I have done that before too, and it is sublime. But whatever you have, just use. I think you'll find that this is pretty easy. So let's go ahead and get started. For our prosciutto green bean recipe, we are going to preheat our pan for about 5 minutes. I typically cook most of the things that I cook in a warm pan. So today I'm using an all-clad skillet. You can use a regular cast iron skillet or a sauce pot. You could, if you did the prosciutto ahead of time, you could put all of these ingredients in a casserole dish and throw it in the oven. whatever works for you. It's pretty versatile. So we are going to get started by putting our butter, 1 tablespoon of butter, and then a drizzle of olive oil in the bottom of the pan. Okay, we're getting started with our butter, olive oil, and our onion. We're going to cook the onion until it is translucent. Using my new favorite wooden spoon from my friend Linda. She actually got it from Matt, but Matt said I could use it. So we're going to cook these onions down until they're pretty translucent. That'll take a few minutes. We're looking pretty translucent. Translucent, when I say that, I mean the color of the onions. When we started cooking the onions, they were pretty white, and now they're getting to the point where they're translucent. So about this point is when I need to add our prosciutto. I just add it whole and then chop it up after it has cooked. It's a lot easier to cut up after it's cooked. These little pieces fell off. It doesn't take long at all for the prosciutto to cook. Like I said, this is a very easy and quick side dish. And Matt likes it. Since my onions are starting to look pretty good and I don't want them to overcook, I'm going to kind of put them onto one side so that the prosciutto can have center stage. This all-clad is such an amazing skillet. It cooks so evenly. So the prosciutto is starting to cook, making it easier to cut. I'm going to go ahead and cut up the prosciutto. The more that the prosciutto is cut up, the more that each of the bites that you have has a little bit of prosciutto, and that makes it taste really good. I really like the green beans in this recipe, but Matt would probably say that he tolerates the green beans because the prosciutto or the bacon is so good. And that is okay. If I can get Matt to eat green beans, however, it is a win. So we're going to add our beans pretty quickly. Matt likes when the beans are pretty well cooked. I would like my green beans to be a little bit more on the al dente side, but I am happy to have them a little more cooked like Matt likes them. I think green beans are so pretty. I grow French green beans, French style. I like that they are small, and so most recipes you can just put them in as is. I'm putting the chicken stock in. I used a bouillon cube, so you can see I have a little bit of bouillon at the bottom. So we are going to cover this up and we'll just let this cook. Our beans are looking wonderful and perfect. If these were for me, I would pull them off of the stove now to serve them, It has been 12 minutes since we started cooking them, but since they're for Matt, I am going to go ahead and allow them to cook a little bit longer. I would recommend not doing that because, to quote George Miller, my neighbor growing up, you don't want to cook those to death. You really don't. But I will cook them to be a little more mushy for Matt. I would pull them off now if I were you. So we will do a little taste test after a bit and see how they are. So we all have a burning question, Matt. Do you like these green beans or do you tolerate them?
I like them if they're well cooked enough. I don't like them crunchy. I like them mushier.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
I do like
But
them.
that's good. Do they taste better since you know that you grew them?
Yes.
Okay.
Not really.
Okay.
You make good green beans whether they're from the freezer or a garden.
Okay. That's good.